The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Step it off, break it down and lose it. Come on, follow us to the new revolution. Come on, step it off, break it down and lose it. Come on, follow us to the new revolution. And now I'm proving that this battle I am never losing. I'm choosing to ignore the cuts and bumps and bruises. I'm cruising through these haters, leave them looking stupid. They foolish if they think they'll ever hear my conclusion. I'm through with all these dramas and the excuses. I'm bruising eagles left and right every time I do this. I'm shooting for the top, no I'll never settle where you did. The future's in my hands, my grip will never loosen. My crew is ready to obtain the absolution. Removing any doubt that we was ever fooling. So come on, step it off, break it down and lose it. Come on, follow us to the new revolution. Come on, step it off, break it down and lose it. Come on, follow us to the new revolution.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. You're watching Still Toking with. My name is Leo. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard. Well, did I get my promotion back? Am I still...
No, we took it away from you.
Okay. So
yeah, you hit the wrong button, so yeah.
I'm Chimp behind the keyboard. Anyway, we got an awesome show scheduled for you today. As always, Benjamin, how's it going, my friend?
It's going good, Leo. It's going good. How you doing?
Doing great. Jeffrey, my friend, how's it going?
It's going good. It's been a couple of absolutely gorgeous days. I just got back from Maine. The colors were popping.
Nice.
It was absolutely beautiful up there.
Did you say that with your pinky in the air?
With my pinky in the air?
The colors.
Well, no, I had to pull the dock, so I'll tell you what. When your sack hits that water, it's fucking cold. I think they just dropped on the way home.
Yeah, well, that's why you need to dive in head first, and then
Tell them, Leo.
So, Jeffrey, who do we got today?
We have Kirk B.R. Woller. And my first question for you actually is, what the hell is the B.R.?
I'm a German. First of all, hello,
welcome.
Gentlemen. Thank you for having me. Yeah, thank you for having me. Wait a minute, before I answer that question, that music that started us off before who was the first music? Who did the first music? Like right when we talked for a second, you said, "All right, you're gonna hear some music." Who did that?
Scarecrow Hill.
No,
they did all of that.
No, Scarecrow Hill did the second part.
Oh,
who did the first part?
Yeah, who did that first part, Leo? That was one of the.
I get that from. We have an audio service that I get it from.
Because I'm from Seattle, and when I started out in theater, we would have kegger parties, and what we would do is we would have great bands like Soundgarden, like Soundgarden basically, and we would have a loft, and we would have a kegger party, and we'd raise money for the band and for our theater show. And so anyway, that was like fat is the way I'd call that music in the beginning. That was really cool.
Fat. Okay.
Yeah, fat. That's fat. It's really good. It's rocking.
Yeah, it's thumbs up, Jeff. Just in case you're not up on today's lingo,
to me that would be like gnarly or
Well, you know, but when you're from Seattle, when something is thick and deep like that, our term was always fat.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
pH. It's pH, right?
pH? I don't know
Yeah.
what that means.
PHAT.
No,
Fat.
fat was spelled with a pH.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
True. All right. Thank you for that. That was really great music. But the BR, great first question. I'm of German descent, and the tradition for the Hochdeutsch, or part of the German society, is to have two middle names. So it's Brian, Bryan, and then Ramon, Ramon. So when I started working as an actor, I decided just to keep it was a little outside the box, and what the hell. But thanks, that's a good question.
Well, that's why I wanted to ask you, because I'm like, what the fuck is BR?
Oh yeah, the show is rated 18 plus, so
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
Right.
so it's and if Jeff
Okay.
gets out of control, just nod your head a couple times, Kirk, and we'll mute his mic.
No, it is great. You guys are awesome. I love it.
So you're currently on The Chosen, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I guess let's see. Quick backstory: the creator and producer I've known for 20 years, over 20 years, and a cool little backstory on that, and then I'll get to being on The Chosen. But I think context is always cool.
Absolutely.
So I had a friend of mine who was reading this book called Left Behind. It was a New York Times bestseller. It was basically end of times. And they decided to take Left Behind and turn it into a film. So she emailed me, I think, back in those days, or called me or something and said, hey, might want to consider auditioning for this film. It's really great, and suggested a character. So I found the producers, and I sent a letter, a picture, and my reel to them. It was back in Kentucky, I think it was. Anyway, 3 days later, I get a call from the producer and this guy named Dallas Jenkins, and they were super excited. I had contacted them, and they wanted me to be involved, and thus began our relationship. And so since then, I've done every single thing Dallas Jenkins has done. The Left Behind was written by his father, Jerry Jenkins.
Wow.
And so I've had a 20-year relationship when he first started out, and we've just stayed connected ever since. His wife, they got great kids, and saw them all being born, that kind of a thing. So yes, he asked if I would like to audition for The Chosen, and I did. And it's crazy how successful and popular it is. Do you guys know about the show at all?
No.
I've never watched it. No, I actually looked it up.
No, it's
and I'm like,
popular.
well, it's popular. I'm going to have to watch it because I love watching those types of shows. But I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I'm very picky about which ones I watch. And this one just got added to the top of my list because I want to check it out. So
what's crazy about it, sorry for interrupting.
Oh, no,
just to
no
give
worries.
you perspective, it is the largest crowd-funded film or video project of all time. They raised $10 million to shoot this thing, Dallas and a couple of other guys, and they just started filming this. It was like a blip on the screen, and it has turned into this worldwide phenomenon. Literally, it's like in 50 different languages now. I think it has 300 million views. It's a free app. You just go to the App Store. It's just The Chosen. And it's the Pope's favorite show. And they were just the guy that plays Jesus, and Dallas, they were invited to the Vatican. They just met the Pope. It's insane. Wow. So it's really well done. It's very well written. It's smart. And I never knew this. It's the first multi-episode series about the life of Christ ever made. There's never been about his life. And so I think what people are digging about it is that it's a real look at these people as human beings.
Right.
And so Jesus, nobody's perfect, right? And Matthew, a character I deal with a lot, is on the autistic spectrum. Mm-hmm. He's great with numbers. So it's really smart and very well done. And people just really dig the show. So I'm really honored and grateful to be a part of it.
That's awesome. I have to check. How do you say your character's name?
Gaius.
Gaius. It is Gaius. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it looks like you can watch it on Peacock. It's also
really?
on Tubi, Crackle, Voodoo. But it looks like Peacock's the best way to go.
And where
Yeah,
can
like
we
I-
find out more about this?
I think it
above
has
or down
like,
below.
I think it like at one point, no joke, it was like the 4th most popular show on IMDb, and then Rotten Tomatoes is like 100 or something. It's nuts.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Definitely
it's-
have to check that out.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it is very accurately portrayed in terms of they get all the different denominations and religions together, and then just make sure everything is historically accurate
Okay.
in terms of who said what and the time and the place. So it's very well researched. Dallas is, I think he went to, not Bible school, but he has a degree in it, right? I can't think of the
Would
right
that be
term.
I forget the word. There's a word for that.
Biblical college. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm spacing on the word too, but yeah, like he just very well read. It's smart, man, and well done and interesting and compelling. And
Wow. How many episodes are there?
we shoot 8 episodes a season, and so we have 2 seasons. So there's 16 total episodes, and it's free. I mean,
Oh.
Well,
incredible.
all right.
There you
I
go.
guess
That's a weekend binge.
that's a binge. Yep.
Yeah,
It's a
totally.
weekend
Well,
binge.
and I'm so glad that series are adopting that. The whole 27 episode arcs for a season is just crazy. When you find a good show, you want to get caught up on it. It's I would rather have 8 like longer.
6 to 10. 6 to 10 is
6
perfect.
to 10.
Yeah.
Take the money that you're going to spend on 27, pack it
into those 6 to 10.
in, yeah.
It makes perfect sense. It's a nice format, man. It's
Right,
and then certainly as actors, having done so many guest stars or recurring characters on these shows, it's 24 episodes a season, just like literally the show 24.
Right.
That's a long haul, man. That's
Right.
10 months of everybody's life, and it's great. Everyone likes to be working, but yeah, it's a lot of work, man, to do 24 episodes.
Wow. You did appearances on a lot of the shows that I watched religiously.
I was going to say a lot of shows that a lot of people watch religiously.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
The CSI, X-Files, Bones, Rizzoli Isles. I mean, I watched all of that
Oh, that's awesome, man.
because that's my genre. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So you like procedural type? Well, not all of those are procedural. Yeah, that's a wide variety. That's a good taste of shows you got.
Well, thank you. I
Yeah.
mean, I can be a little spacey like the X-Files or nitpicky like Rizzoli Isles.
Right, interesting. Yeah, on
Right.
Rizzoli Isles, I play a guy that looks like the Pope.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I do have a question now. How tall is she?
Which one?
Rizzoli.
I don't believe I had scenes with her. I don't think I had
No.
a scene with her. No.
No,
I'm not
I'll
sure
have
how
to
tall she
Google
is.
that because she looks really, really tall.
Yeah. I'm not.
I was just
100%
curious.
sure. Yeah. Sorry.
That was a TBS show, right?
Originally, I think so.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, TBS put out some really good shows as well.
Yep.
Right.
So with all the shows that you've been on some awesome movies as well.
Thank you.
What would you say is one that's most memorable, or one of your favorites?
TV shows or films or
TV.
both?
TV.
Well, for TV,
TV. Boy. Well,
I know it's hard to pick, but
no. But it's a great question, man. I'll tell you, the X-Files was important for me in so many ways, and I'll explain. First of all, it was one of my favorite shows.
Mm-hmm.
So I would watch that show all the time. And I liked it because I'm from Seattle in the Northwest. They filmed in Vancouver. I just loved the perspective that the show had. It was always outside the box and just always something interesting. And anybody who's ever believed in a conspiracy theory or anything outside the box, Chris Chris Carter, tackled it and dealt with it. So it was just so great. And I also love Duchovny's work on that show as an actor. I thought he was just so present and real and simple. And the relationship with Jillian was really great too.
I was going to say the same thing. The relationship between Duchovny and Jillian, it was just one of those things. It just grabs you.
Absolutely. And it was just Seattle. I'm from Seattle, right? So it was kind of certainly when they started, it was kind of darkish, I just felt like I was back home because the Vancouver climate is very similar to the Seattle climate. So I just dug the show. And then I went in to audition for that show, and I remember sitting in the Fox parking lot. And up till that point, I just played a whole bunch of bad guys. I don't know, just a lot of bad guys. And I remember sitting in the parking lot to myself and like talking myself into it. I said, "You could do this, Kirk. You've worked hard. You've hopefully earned the right to be on this show." So I prepared very, diligently, like I always do. It was off book. And I went into audition, and the director was the same guy that gave me my first job in the business on Briscoe County Jr.
Oh, nice.
Playing a villain. So I went in there, and I don't think he really recognized me or anything. Anyway, I did it, and I got the job. And what was great about that is that I went from playing a whole bunch of bad guys, and now I was an FBI agent.
Right.
And so it completely changed the direction of what people thought I was capable of doing. And it was just great to do the show, period. And it was also when Robert Patrick came on. Duchovny was trying to exit the show. So Robert Patrick, who of course was in the Terminator, I got to know him too, and I knocked on his trailer the first day, and I had all this homework, and I made decisions about our relationship, and I was like, "Hey man, can I just talk to you?" And he was like, "Come on in." Anyway, he and I built a really great relationship, and it started off as just 2 episodes. But everything went so well, they kept on having me back, and by the end of season 8, I think it was, I ended up being a reptilian alien. The bump on the back. So X-Files was great in so many ways. It allowed me multiple episodes. It was a show I loved. Everyone was cool. Mitch Pileggi was awesome. We had so much in common. It was just a great experience. You worked your ass off. It was 14, sometimes 16-hour days. It was really, really long, but just a great experience and great people. And again, one of those things I'm just so grateful for. It's really great.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Right.
One of my favorites.
I was just going to say the same thing. That's in my top 10.
I mean, it took me a little while to warm up to Patrick. Once Duchovny was exiting, it took a couple of episodes for me to warm up to that, but he kind of slid right into that part perfectly. They did a very, very nice job with that.
He's a really good guy too. He's just a good person and an honorable man, and a great dad and so forth, and husband, and we just had a really nice connection. And again, that the other part of it, and I know what you mean. In fact, they made the choice because Kim Manners, I think it was his choice, or maybe it was Chris, too, that Jillian, as soon as throw water in his face. And I don't know if you remember that scene, but they did that because that's probably what everyone out there, maybe even you, Jeff, would want to do to him. He's like, "Get the hell out of here. We want Duchovny."
Right.
So they decided she just threw water in his face to kind of set the tone for all right, let's.
Right. Well, it was the way they did the transition too. That really worked. They didn't try to replace him, so to speak. It was a transition of what I call, transition of power, so to speak.
They didn't pull a Darren.
No.
What's a Darren?
Oh, a really old term. In Bewitched, they replaced Darren mid-season with another actor that looked just like him.
Yeah.
I recall Bewitched. I do recall that switch. It was weird.
Yeah.
Anytime you have a switch like that, but then Duchovny ended up coming back too.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well,
So-
then that's because the way they wrote it and how that happened. That was the
Right.
only thing that kept me intrigued still and still watching X-Files.
They also had the movies going, right? Or did they just do the one movie?
They just did the one.
Okay.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it was
as
just
far
the
as I
one.
know, it was just one. Yep.
Yeah.
And then also like great friendships, like Dean Haglund. He's one of the lone gunmen.
Yeah.
I mean, he ended up living just like we were neighbors, so we used to hang out and yeah, it was just a lot of fun on so many levels. Great experience, great show, and making good money. You have to acknowledge that when you're working consistently like that, it's pretty rocking as an actor.
Right.
Nice.
Lone Gunman, that's something I haven't thought about in a long time. Those,
Yeah.
there was, what, 3 of them?
Yep.
Or,
And it was Dean was the guy with the long hair. He's actually from, I think he's definitely Canadian, maybe even from Vancouver. I think all 3 of those guys were actually from Canada.
now, they were going to try a spin-off series. If I remember it correctly, they pulled it because the premise was very similar to 9/11, but it happened like before 9/11.
Oh, I don't recall that. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I remember
Must have
reading.
gone
I
crazy.
remember reading something about that.
Yeah, and now Leo's going to look it up because
Yep,
that's
they had
what he
they
does.
actually had to pull it because of what happened. Yeah.
Wow, I maybe I forgot that, I guess. Damn.
Yeah. The Lone Gunman-
Senility can set in early.
Yeah, I guess it started for sure.
Right.
So the Lone Gunman pre 9/11, it was which aired March 4th, 2001. Members of the U.S. government conspired to hijack an airliner, almost hitting the World Trade Center, and blamed the act on terrorists to gain support for a new profit-making war.
Yeah, I'd go deeper into that, but that's getting into stuff we don't discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
is
Yep, I remember
intense,
reading all about
man.
that. Yep.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Who,
As most of us did.
who was writing? Was Chris writing that? The Lone Gunman. He's so smart.
I don't know if you ask me, it was a guy named George, but I'm not going to go there.
I think he just did.
Created by Chris Carter, Vince Gilligan, and John Sheehan.
Yeah, Vince Gilligan. Yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
Excellent. So you had an opportunity arise from a very special person after a scene of yours was cut from a very, very well-known movie.
Yes.
Oh, I like the way you put that too, Jeff. That was
You
cool.
like that?
I do.
I didn't bring anything up. I figured
No.
I'll let Kirk bring that up and talk about exactly what I just said.
Okay, so you want me to tell that story?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's actually a pretty cool story. I mean, just by an actor's standards, I guess. So I was hired sight unseen based on my reel. And by the way, back to the reference to Dallas, I had just killed Sipowicz's son on NYPD Blue. So that little piece was in the reel that I sent to Dallas. And I think it was right around that same time that my agent had submitted me for a Steven Spielberg film.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know. I just get a call one day and he said, "You've been hired by Steven Spielberg." I'm like, "What?" He says, yeah, you're going to do a film called AI. I was like, and it's one day and you're playing a cop in the future. And that's all I got. So interestingly enough, I was shooting a football film with Dallas Jenkins in Mobile, Alabama, right at the time that I was supposed to do the Spielberg film. And the production was really cool. They let me leave Alabama to fly back to shoot this one scene with Spielberg. And so I show up on set, rainy day, Warner Brothers, and they give me my costume. I've never met him. I don't know what the heck's going on. It's a one-day thing. I got no script. I have no material. I have no idea. I'm like waiting around my trailer. Like I have no where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? And I remember being in the makeup trailer, and I sat next to Jude Law, and he turns to me and he says, "Do I look like I'm a robot?" or something like that. And I said, "Yeah, the makeup's really good, man." So we chatted a little bit. Anyway, went back to my trailer. They brought me on set. Oh, imagine a whole Hollywood soundstage at Warner Brothers filled with neon lights and women wearing next to nothing.
Sounds like fun to me.
Yeah, it was very intense, to say the
Who needs a
least.
script with that?
Yeah. True. It was, I was going to say something, but I'll leave it.
That's okay.
Focus, Jeff. Focus.
Okay.
But here's what's a trip about it. It was called Rouge City, and it was this futuristic city, of course, because AI took place in the future. But as soon as we got on set, Sergio, which is Steven's first AD, made a speech to all of us and talked about the seriousness of sexual harassment on set.
Mm-hmm.
And that, look, it's a very serious thing. It was like the first time I had ever heard anybody make such a clear. So basically, it made it very clear, like we all got to be professional in here. And there were gorgeous women models just like walking around. So anyway, that was interesting in itself. So then I finally go over there. They bring me over, and then Steven Spielberg comes walking up. And he goes, "All right, we're just going to shoot this thing, and you're just the cop, and you just stop him. We'll see how it goes." And then he just walks away. And I thought,
okay.
I didn't. Let's see. I was like, what am I? All right. So then I said, "All right, I got to go talk to him." So, like 5 minutes later, I went up to him and I said, "Okay, I want to understand what you're looking for." So I talked to him a little bit. He goes, yeah, that sounds great, but very little. So then he didn't give any clear specifics. All of a sudden, the camera was rolling, and I saw Jude Law coming with Haley Joel Osment. They're coming towards me. I just decided to do what I wanted to do. I said, "He's not giving me any direction. I'm just going to take
That's what he wanted.
Yeah, here's an opportunity to just go for it, man."
Right.
So it's just. I just did what I wanted to do, and he ran his interference, and Haley Joel went off to the side. Anyway, we did the take, and Spielberg comes running out like from the darkness. He says, "That was amazing. That was great. Let's do that again." And so we did it again, and I changed it a little bit and did some other stuff. And he goes, "Oh, that was even better. Like, oh wow, blah blah blah." So I was feeling pretty good about that. And so that was it. We were done, and we did it 2 or 3 times maybe, and I was heading back to I had to fly back to Alabama. And this is where it gets interesting. So as I'm starting to leave, Spielberg, the man himself, comes up to me and he says, "Do you have to leave right now?" No. He says, "All right, come on over here." And so he invites me to the next set on that same sound stage, and he goes, have a seat. So now I'm sitting next to Steven Spielberg, like he's got the director's chair, and I'm sitting in a chair, and I'm wondering to myself, what the hell am I doing here? I just was so surreal, right?
Right.
And so I'm sitting there, and he's talking. He goes, "Hey, where did you train as an actor?" And I explained I trained with Sanford Meisner, and he goes, "Oh, I've heard about Meisner." And he's a legendary acting teacher, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I'll wrap up this long-winded story.
No, we love it. We love it.
Yeah, we're enjoying it.
Cool. And so then a couple of minutes later, he says, "You want a cigar?" Like, "No, thanks. I don't smoke." And so he lights up a cigar. We were just like chit-chatting for, "Hey, Kathleen Kennedy," one of his main producers. "Hey, this is Kirk Woller. He just did a scene, da-da-da-da. Nice to meet you." So he's like introducing me to everything. Haley Joel Osment is sitting there. And then Haley's dad is right behind me. And I start talking to him. And I'm like sitting in this insane inner circle, having no idea why I'm there. And so more chit chat, more talk. And then at one point he turns to me and he says, "How would you like to play a cop in another movie?" I said, "I'd be honored and grateful. Thank you." And he says, "Great. You're my first pre-crime cop. The film's called Minority Report. We're going to go in the spring." It's like, wow, thank you. And so a little bit more chit chat, and then my flight was leaving, so I did have to excuse myself, which was weird in itself to excuse yourself from Steven. I got to go.
Right.
Spielberg. But yeah, we shook hands, and I thanked him, of course, profusely, and then left. And my head was in such a tailspin. Did that just happen? I just couldn't believe that just happened to me.
Right.
I was. And by the way, backtracking, when I got the news that I got the job with Spielberg out of the blue, the first thing I did was I went inside and I cleaned my toilets. Yeah. And
okay, that's just really weird.
Nervous anxiety.
Yeah.
No, but what it was is I got to keep myself grounded and real here, because that's
okay. There you go. I get it.
I said to myself, I need a reality check here. So I went inside and cleaned the toilets, and it just kept it real and kept me centered and balanced. But anyway, from cleaning the toilet to being on set to being offered Minority Report, which of course we then did in the spring.
Right.
Just what a journey, man.
Right. But didn't Mr. Spielberg actually keep you grounded? What happened to your scene in AI?
I got cut out.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I remember going in the movie and I'm like, what happened? And I remember going to the movie while we were shooting Minority Report, and he came up to me and goes, Kirk, I'm sorry, man. I had to cut you out of AI and da-da-da-da. I was like, no worries. So yeah, I was literally cut out of AI. And then to make it more interesting, not worse, but more interesting, is most of the stuff that we did for Minority Report. You have to remember we were pre-crime cops.
Mm-hmm.
So there were 7 of us, including Clea, 1 woman, and Tom. And we shot like ready room, lifting weights, all this cool stuff. It all got cut. So it was supposed to be everybody's big break. And now if you watch it, I look like a glorified extra, even though I was there for 3 months and an amazing experience. But yeah, don't blink.
Nice.
It's just crazy though how
glorified extra. I love it.
If you go back and think of it, how like it's dominoes. It seems like it's
Say that again?
It's like dominoes. Your career, one thing leads to another. Like you mentioned, starting off with Briscoe County Jr., and that led to you meeting Dallas, I believe, correct?
Briscoe County, no, it was Dallas was from a friend who had mentioned the movie Left Behind being filmed.
Okay.
And then I sent my picture, resume, and reel. But Briscoe County was the director of that, Kim Manners, and I think he was part of the Mickey Mouse Club, actually. Kim Manners, if you look that up, God bless him, he recently passed away, or maybe it's 5, 6, 7 years now. But he hired me for my first sort of co-star in television. It was Briscoe County Jr. And then all those years later, he was directing the X-Files.
Wow.
So
yeah, Leo, pay attention.
No, he's looking that up.
Yeah, but it's still the same thing. Is one connection leads to another. It's all about networking, and I'm a firm believer everything happens for a reason. So it's just you met the right people that led to other things.
Well, exactly. I mean, look at Jeff and I. I mean, we created the comic book. We met you, Leo, at one of our first cons 3 years ago, and here we are 3 years later, and we're up here virtually live, on 12 platforms worldwide with Mr. Woller.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, like I just think it's so like we're all. I'm gonna get philosophical here. If you're a good person and you work hard and you're good at what you do, and you just success is your only option, it's all gonna come around, man. Good people connect with good people, and then other good things happen as a result. So I think it's critical. We just lost.
Yeah. Either his iPad got a phone call, or he's been having issues with some sort of internal timer. See,
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Kirk goes, I think we lost Jeff. The first guest we've ever had that actually acknowledged the fact that we lost you. He must like
so
you.
Yeah, normally they're like, great, he's gone.
Really?
Don't have to deal with that Jeff guy anymore. Thank God.
Well, now that Jeff interrupted everything, it's a perfect time. Leo, where can they find out more about our guest?
Definitely. Kirk has a acting studio as well. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But you can find everything about him up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. Should I play the?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I pulled it out.
Okay. Cool beans. It's Prospect, I believe, as well.
Yeah. Do Prospector and Prospector and the hot sauce.
Okay. Here we go.
Is this more?
Did you know around 83% of Americans with disabilities are unemployed? We are changing that. The Prospector Theater is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to providing competitive and integrated employment for adults with disabilities through the operation of a first-run movie theater in Ridgefield, Connecticut. We greet, seat, and treat our audiences to the best, most accessible movie-going experience in the world. Hollywood blockbusters, delicious gourmet popcorn, and one-of-a-kind pink glove service. Join us for a movie and see our sparkle in action. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit www.prospectortheater.org.
And if you check the show notes, you'll find more about our sponsor. But I put something new in the chat. There's something called a Smart Page. You click on that, and it has all the links for all our sponsors, all our friends for the show as well. A lot of awesome information there. But also hot sauce. Yeah.
Before you go into the hot sauce.
Yeah.
You forgot to tell our guest that we were going to commercial.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
He's like, oh, wait, is there more music? And
Yeah.
Commercial.
You guys are awesome. No, it was great.
Yeah,
Go
sorry.
for it.
Yeah.
And just one more quick one, and then we're going to come back and talk to Kirk about so much more.
You
So
guys
stay
are
tuned.
awesome.
Cool beans.
That's a very cool thing, your sponsor. What an amazing thing they're doing, man. That
It's
Prospect Theater.
fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, that's just incredible.
They've actually, before we get into the next quick commercial, I'll just touch on it. They've gone from not just being a theater, but the owner of the theater bought a 117-acre, she called it a farm. We got to actually go film out on the farm. It's a wildlife retreat. And she's doing the same thing out there with adults with disability and teaching them how to get maple syrup. They're like producing maple syrup, and they're working different parts of the land and nature, and it's
phenomenal.
It's just an amazing group of people.
That's off the chain, man. To give back like that, that just does a lot for my heart. That's amazing. And they're your sponsor.
One of, yes.
One of, yep.
Yeah. We can touch on that real quick before Leo. Why don't you just run that next commercial real quick, and we'll get it out of the way.
Just real quick. Speaking of giving back, I haven't heard back from them. They opened up my job at work, so definitely.
Oh, okay. I'll reach out.
We'll reach out to them.
Yep. Here. And hot sauce. Here we go.
More great music. That was awesome.
And that's our exclusively blended hot sauce.
You guys make it?
No, actually, Silk City Hot Sauce makes for us, but that's exclusive for us.
It's our brand. Yep.
It's our brand. Yes.
And how hot is hot?
It's about a 7.
Yeah, I say 6.5.
Great. No, I love hot sauce. That sounds good.
So, as Leo said earlier, the domino effect, everything, leads into something else. Like we had mentioned backstage, Jeff and I did the comic book series, and we were blessed to become friends with Bill Diamond from Diamond Productions down in New York. Bill Diamond's best known for all his work with Jim Henson.
Oh, wow.
So he's known as the Great American Puppeteer. He's a 3-time Emmy Award winner for it. Just really loved everything we did with the comic and actually took us on as a TV series. In filming down there, a friend of his, George, brought his adult son with a disability to the studio. Very great people. And that's how we all made the connection back to the Prospector. And we actually did a whole show on the Prospector, and they became one of our sponsors. And then we got, like I said, we got to go down and film on what we call it a wildlife retreat.
Right.
But they're doing amazing.
Oh, it's phenomenal stuff that she is doing. Phenomenal.
Yeah. What is her background?
Well, she's also an adult with disabilities. She grew up. Oh
my gosh.
Taking care of her sister who had a disability.
Right.
And
right.
Wait a minute. She, the woman that runs it, has a disability of her own, and then took care of a sibling with disability.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Her name's Valerie Jensen.
Yeah. Wow. She has dedicated her life to basically get adults with disabilities out on their own. So she gets them to start their own businesses. She helps them, helps them move forward, gets them out into the workforce. And I believe it's about 85% of all of the employees at the Prospector Theater are adults with disabilities.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's not just the theater. I mean, we got to tour the theater. I mean, they have a full media department where they make their own commercials for the Prospector Theater. They actually have an embroidery.
They have a full
department.
Graphics department.
Yeah,
the whole 9 yards. It's unbelievable.
It's definitely, if you're out in the Connecticut area, I would say it's worth stopping in. I think it's Ridgefield, Connecticut. It's worth stopping in, even just to take in a show.
Oh, absolutely.
Just for the atmosphere inside.
It's one of the nicest theaters I've ever been in.
But it's theater. Stage, not film, correct?
No. It's a movie theater.
It's a movie theater. So
yes.
what kind of films
with
are they
popcorn
playing?
and concessions and
basically the same
first run movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Wow.
Movies.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
I'd go there to see all my movies. That's amazing. What a great thing. Wow.
When we got the tour, I know because I want to get back to you, but when we got the tour,
this is way more important than me.
Well,
I
agree, but the show is designed to be about our guest.
It's cool, but like this kind of a cause, I mean, if the four of us, well, I'll speak for myself, can do anything, you guys are clearly doing it, can do anything to give back and to help, then totally, man, that's what it's all about. Man.
Right.
And that's why I brought up, my job's hiring. So definitely if you can reach out to their, media department.
Yep.
It's definitely, give somebody a chance.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I'll send. I actually jotted that down. I'll send Munchie an email tomorrow.
Cool.
Yep. Munchie will be all over that.
He should be.
They just posted a job today, so.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So actorclass.com. We have the link in the show notes.
And that's with a K, not a C.
Yes.
Correct. As an homage to my German heritage, because class is with a K in German.
That's correct.
You got some awesome students here, but when did you start the class?
Okay, I realize I weave too much of a long story, so let me see to keep.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
You got 3 minutes.
We're in no rush here, so tell it how you want.
No. Okay, the most real version is got divorced 4 years ago. At that time, I was running a very successful baby business, believe it or not. My ex-wife and I invented baby products. My father's a mechanical engineer, so I've always had an engineer mind. And we came up with some baby products that didn't exist. We got patents on those products, created a business that was wildly successful. So after separating in a divorce, I gave her the baby business and had to honestly ask myself, what am I going to do now? Like, what do I have that's for sale, or what do I have to offer, if anything? Like, just a real deep, as you can imagine, soul searching time, right? Mm-hmm. And so what I realized is the thing I probably know the best, even though I never really thought about it, was not only the business of acting, but the craft of acting. And so running this very successful baby business for like 8 years, I learned a lot about business. And backing track, I was the president of my business school at Cal State Hayward. So I had a job offer out of college at 25. It was like this is 1985. So it was like a $35,000 job, fast track management for Clorox. And I was the president of my business school. And I was like, that was the path. My parents are German immigrants. I went to school and soon basically went to college. But my dream since 8 was to be an actor. So I dropped everything, much to the chagrin of my family, moved back to Seattle and started to pursue an acting career. At any rate, I just realized, I know I went off on a tangent there, but when I was divorced, trying to figure out what I had to offer, it was really my understanding of the craft of acting and also the business of acting. So running the baby business combined, how can I put those two things together? Sort of business, savvy, intelligence, or hard work there, and acting. So I came up with Actor Class. And the idea was kind of revolutionary at the time, and that was online acting classes. And you know how I was thinking of Bezos and you know, like Uber. What did Uber do? There's always been people who needed a ride, and there's always people that could give you a ride. All they did was create an app to hook those people up.
Yeah, because Uber does not own a car.
Which is insane when you think about it.
It is insane if you think about that.
It's so smart. But Bezos did the same thing. There's always been people who made stuff, and we all buy stuff. All Bezos did was master fulfillment, getting it to me at my doorstep in a day or two.
Well,
that's his genius. I'm sorry.
No, and the crazy thing is the Amazon, like shopping part of it. That is just gravy for them because that's not their core business.
Not anymore. But it started off with books, and it started from Seattle too. You know, so my back door is where Amazon started. And so I was looking at these guys going, what can I do and so my idea was Actor Class was going to be the same thing. And that is where I have all these amazing working actor friends, right? These guys that have been doing it for 30 plus years who are amazing. They're not stars. People just see them all the time and they kind of recognize them, but they don't know who they are. But these people have been mastering what they do for decades. And these people, most of the time as actors, you're not working, right? You're between a job, or if you do a guest star, you work 3 of the 7 days. There's a lot of downtime. So my idea was these people have all this knowledge and intelligence. And then everywhere I go, hey, where did you train? And I want to be an actor. How do I do it? And I just thought, you know what? I'm going to create a platform to just hook these people up. Working actors, good people that understand the craft, who are making a living at it, talking to people all over the world who want to learn how to be an actor. And it's sort of, the philosophy is like a mentorship. Like, you know, in Japan, if you wanted the master sword builders, like you would go train with the guy that has been making swords for 60 years. Mentorship, one-on-one. Here's how you heat the blade. And so I love that concept. And so I thought, I'll do this online. That's how I can connect people in Hollywood with people anywhere in the world. And so I built this website. I built a custom classroom and thought about how to market. And I was working with a consultant, and I was still dealing with separation and divorce. I was remodeling my house. I just had to get my mind clear, I guess. I needed to bang things and build stuff to get my mind straight. And I opened the doors in the beginning of 2020. And then 2 months later, COVID hit. And then every acting teacher who's ever taught an acting class in any studio in the world was teaching on Zoom. So my revolutionary cool idea just went right out the window. And then now all teachers were doing it. So it became about more like market share as opposed to being the only one doing it. And so, I'm slowly building it and just doing exactly that, where we have working actors, working with people who want to learn how to act. And I never intended to mentor myself, but I'm doing that, and I'm working with people one-on-one, and it's great. My students are working, and I meet just like this, during the week, and it's really, really cool, man. I just never thought I'd do it because, I was always under the philosophy that those that can't teach and those that do just do, right? But I got over myself and I'm doing it, and I love it. It's really great. So there's like we can work with these people one-on-one, and there's once a month on Saturdays. It's a group. And it's like $15. It's like nothing.
Right. And for everybody out there, just because you take his class doesn't mean you're going to be a successful actor. It don't fucking work that way.
No, it don't.
Actually, it's really, really true, Jeff. Like that to me was a big deal when I thought of this. Is I didn't want to give people false dreams. There's no guarantee for anything in life. And but here's the difference: is I believe that if you work hard enough and long enough, you will work as an actor. And you just have to get better. Like I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. I was crap, right? So I had to learn. I just dogged determination. I just would never give up. So it's not the most talented people that work. It's the people who work hard to be good at what they do. And they do it long enough, and then people start recognizing it.
Yep. And there's one word that describes all of those people and why it does work, and that's passion.
Well said. Well said, Jeff. That's passion. If I may include one word, an additional word, it's discipline to go with it.
Disciplined passion. My wife might like that.
That sounds like a good company name.
Right?
I was going to say that could be in the next hot sauce.
Wow. Disciplined
Do I need to grab the domain of that?
Do I have the domain?
But what you say is true for just about any aspect of your life.
Yes.
You put in the hard work. You're determined. Like for myself, back in 2012, my career took a nosedive. The whole when the economy crashed, I lost an amazing career. And I took it.
Is it okay for me to ask what you were doing?
I was doing IT and digital marketing.
Oh, okay.
I just made it to IT manager. I was managing 3 locations, huge t-shirt business, but they relied on a government contract. And then with the economy, everything crashed. But anyway, after that, I took a marketing job, bottom of the level just to work my way up. 9 years, and I'm now back at where I was back in 2012, and just it's definitely a lot of hard work and just keep on going at it, and it's not luck, it's just just keep on working.
Well, and like with a guy like me, I find that your passion can change, and what you're passionate about can adjust.
Oh, totally.
Because you'll find a new path. You don't let go of what your passion was before, but you can tend to refocus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I blame shithead up there in the corner for a lot of what I'm dealing with right now, because it's a newfound passion that I didn't even know existed.
And your newfound passion is this?
Well, it's the comic book, it's the filming, I never wanted to do these live shows. I was talked into it. I always will give something a go. You know what I mean? But now I enjoy it. I don't know if my guests enjoy me being there, but
I enjoy you being here.
I now have a lot of fun with it. So it's a newfound passion, because I'm a woodworker by heart. I like to play with wood.
I build a lot of my own furniture. Are you talking about that?
I'm a furniture builder.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I just made some really cool stuff. I took old pallets and made a wicked coffee table and some other stuff. I'm about to make a new dining room table. I love it.
Oh wow, we got to connect.
Yeah, you guys should connect. Jeff is he's a master craftsman. He actually trained me in the construction field. We've been friends for 36 years.
Oh wow.
And he got out of the trades and started making furniture. And I'll tell you,
I went to work for a company making 18th century reproduction Victoria furniture.
Oh my God, that sounds awesome. You got to send me some pictures, man. I'd love to see that. Do you use a lot of like repurposed wood?
I try to use a lot of repurposed wood. It can be hard to find.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It can be hard to find. One of the things that makes me sick to my stomach is when I see people painting a 150-year-old solid walnut or solid mahogany hutch because they want it puke green.
No. It's Cape Cod blue.
Cape Cod blue.
Cape Cod blue.
Which is similar to puke green, I guess.
Yeah. We'll connect after the show's over because I'd love to talk to you about wood.
Awesome. And I just wanted to say too, Leo, it's a philosophy that I try to live by in terms of the hard work and the discipline and the passion that Jeff was talking about. And that is, it's a Zen Buddhist philosophy that says simply this: great faith, great doubt, great effort. So no matter what I do in my life, I always have great faith it's going to succeed. And I also have great doubt that it won't. And you can be negative. At the end of the day, the only thing I have control over is my effort.
Yeah.
And if I just keep going and keep working hard, it's a philosophy I put as an acting career as well, is I'm just going to keep going. Effort. It's all about effort. If I stay there and I stay focused, it all falls into place. It's all about the effort.
Totally. Mm-hmm. That's actually one of the reasons why I got the promotion that I just got. And I know I'm going to harp on this for a minute, but
congrats, man. Way to go.
Thank you. But they said that's actually one of the reasons why they offered me the job, was because since the 3 years I've been there, whenever there's been need for extra work or something like that, I'm always the first person to raise my hand, and just, working late, just trying to get, whatever needs to get done. And it's just, they
you know what that's called? That's called willing to do what it takes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
man.
That's not just with your job either. That's
you do that with the dorketing.
Yeah,
you do
that's
that
how you built this network.
Right. Exactly.
But what's interesting, I have a son. He's 14. He's a great kid, budding scientist.
No, good luck with that.
Thank you. I'll need it. But I think what's important, in other words, I think people have lost touch. Maybe the younger gen, and he works really hard, so I'm not necessarily saying him, but if I look around me with all this social media and all this other stuff, people like instant gratification. I'm not saying anything new here, but people you got to work hard. People don't get in these positions of popularity even without working hard or authority or whatnot. And I think we, for the younger folks out there, man, it's like work hard, man. It doesn't happen easy or overnight.
Right. What they're promoting the people that instant fame.
Yeah.
And it's showing the younger generation that you don't need to work hard.
Yeah.
And that's not going to work.
Yeah, reward without effort.
Right. You can't do that. You know what I mean? That's just not how it goes. So.
And on top of that, if it does go, it doesn't last.
No.
Right.
No, that's the proverbial flash in a pan.
Yep.
The one-hit wonder.
One-hit wonder, flash in a pan. There's nothing wrong with a one-hit wonder.
No. And there's nothing wrong with somebody necessarily getting instant fame or something. I'm just saying that, really, life is about working hard and seeing things through, and it takes time to achieve things that you really want. And when you do it that way, they last.
Well, I think the key to that is, if you hook up and all of a sudden it's instant fame, that flash in the pan, then you're gone. Use that to help as many people as you can.
Well said,
And you know, don't just disappear. Don't try and become famous. Help people because you were able to do it. You got lucky. You know, so help people. You know, do what they want to do. I think that's really, you know, but too many of these people, I think they focus on, oh, well, I did it once, I can do it again. No, don't do it again. Help somebody else do it.
Well, do it again, but help somebody else do it at the same time.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, man. And like the prospect, you know, giving back and really helping. It's so important, man. We can all get caught up in our lives and our careers and what we want to achieve, but you know, slow down and take a look. So I really agree. Giving back is critical no matter what. And I also think that if your success it's earned, then you're more settled into it too.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't fill your head with unrealistic expectations. And I think that part's really good too.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well said. See how we go all over the place on this show.
I love it.
All over the place.
You know, well, I mean, that was a little bit of philosophy right there.
Oh yeah, no, I totally enjoyed it. You know, and I know our viewers are enjoying it because they're still here, and I hope everybody that listens to this down the road on the 19 podcasting platforms enjoys it as well.
Cool.
Yeah, man, work hard.
So, real quick, the group service for actor class, again with a K, and link is in the show notes, up above or down below. So, is it a group service you have every Saturday, or does somebody need to come to you as a group? Like, you know, hey, I have 3 friends joining with me. We want to do the group service. Is it something like that, or is it just, you know, you have a group of people already?
I really appreciate you asking that question because I think I went off on tangents here. But the basic structure of actor class right now, it's 2 things. The first Saturday of every month, a rotating cast of working actors come in for a 2-hour seminar in our virtual classroom. It's not Zoom, it's my own classroom that I custom built. It's 2 hour, and the mentor will talk about it's 2 hours, and then whoever wants to sign up is the group. It's $15 a month. It's like ridiculous to hear somebody for 2 hours who's working and doing what you want to do. It's really, I didn't want to gouge anybody, and I just thought it would be a great way to help others get a start, at least.
Yeah, because they say, you know, most actors are like waiters before they're actors, so they can make that $15 in tips.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean,
right.
It's really, really true. And I think it's affordable, and it gives you a window into how the people who are really doing it are doing it. And I make sure they're always really good people. Most of them are my friends that I've accumulated over the years at you know, working as an actor. And so the group just is there. It's a 2 hour, very much like this. The mentor talks a little bit about their life, how they got where they got. And then they usually have a great piece of advice, like Omid Abtahi. He's now Baby Yoda's doctor on
Mandalorian. Yeah.
So he's a friend. I've known him for years, and he worked for Mally Finn, was one of the biggest casting directors in the last.
Well, Leo just got a Woody, I could tell.
Yeah.
Over what, the Mandalorian?
Oh no, I know the
Baby Yoda thing. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I know the character you're talking about, and they just tied that into another series as well. That particular doctor, because they're part of the they work with clones, and people think it's going to lead to something much bigger with like Palpatine and stuff like that, and Baby Yoda. Yeah, very cool stuff. But sorry, dork out there.
No. I mean, right? No, it's great. He's actually. Should I say something? I don't know. Well, he's shooting something right now.
Yeah, they just started filming Mandalorian season 3.
There you go. So he's doing it. Well, at any rate, he worked for Mally Finn. He's seen thousands of auditions. So when he spoke to the group, it was about the art of auditioning, what to do when you go. I mean, he literally saw thousands of auditions. Was one of the best casting directors in the last 50 years. So every mentor has something to offer, and then we open it up to a Q&A, and you can ask whatever you want of this working actor. So it's a really, really great format.
That's
and then
really
those teachers, those mentors are then available one-on-one. And you can just book them for an hour. And you can talk about
Leo's looking at you. Yeah, Leo's like, I'm gonna book him for an hour just so I can say hi.
Right.
Oh yeah, there have been people that have done that, not just to say hi, but that are actors that really want his insight. I mean, he really is. He's a great guy. He's a friend. He's a neighbor, actually, too. So, and so then any of those mentors, you can then hire one-on-one. There's on the same website. You can just book them for an hour, and you can learn the craft of acting. Every mentor is a little different. Like, I'm not sure Omid would teach the craft of acting from the ground up, but he helps you. He will help you with auditions. He will help you with career advice. I do those two, as well as giving you a solid foundation and a technique. I trained for over 15 years, and I trained with Sanford Meisner, who trained people like Bobby Duvall and Gregory Peck and Diane Keaton and all kinds of people. He's one of the greatest acting teachers of the last 100 years. Strasberg, and anyway, that's another conversation. But I give everyone that I work with a solid acting technique that they can apply no matter what. So many teachers nowadays, they just kind of direct you. They don't give you a technique that you can use over and over again, that you can apply to anything from film, TV, or stage, that you can use. Acting is not a mistake. It is very well thought out, and there's a method to it. Not the method, but there's a technique, and there are things that you do every single time that will allow you to excel. And you have to have a technique. And as a man who works with wood, you got to know what you're doing when you play with that wood, not play with it when you work with it. There's a technique to it.
Yeah, okay.
That's another road.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah, it is. But
no, you're right. And one of the things one of the things I wanted to say was that there's a lot of people out there that I've made it. I got this role, or I accomplished this, and now I've made it. No, it doesn't work that way.
Not even close.
You know what I mean? You can make it, but you got to keep on making it.
Yep.
You got to keep on friggin' doing it, because if you don't, you're going to be a has-been.
Every time you audition as an actor, you're going to either succeed at doing it or not. That's what's amazing about it. Like sword building, it is a craft that you get up every day and try to master. And your ass is on the line every single time you do that. And when you're on set, every single take. This is something that it's a lifetime pursuit. And so, you never make it. And I had my other great mentor, other than Sanford Meisner, was a guy named Alan Vinton. I remember when I started booking guest stars, he was like, this is cool, but just remember, it might not last forever. So be smart with your money, save your money. There's going to be hills and peaks and valleys. And it was such amazingly great advice. Right. And I've done that ever since, because you think, oh, I've made it. That's why I clean the toilet after.
Right. You can never stop working. You know what I mean? I mean, look at, I'm going to bring it up only because it's relevant, but look at what William Shatner just did.
What did he just do?
Well, he just went to space.
When?
You know what I mean? Captain Kirk just went to space.
When did he do that?
Today, right?
Today.
Right? Yeah, they
I had no idea.
Oh,
he went up on the penis rocket.
He went up on Bezos' rocket.
It's the penis rocket. Say it.
The penis rocket. You know what I mean? I mean, 50 years of being the guy known for going where no man has gone before, finally went to space.
That is friggin' awesome.
You know what I mean? And I watched it. After I got home, I watched the rerun of it, and this guy literally came out of the capsule in tears.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because a lifelong career, and I think he finally felt
fulfilled,
like it was real and it was fulfilled.
Mm-hmm. My son and I are watching a great documentary we finished watching on Netflix about the first all civilian space flight with SpaceX.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really great 5-part series. So it's the same thing. Yeah, like all of us being able to go to space at some point. and him being able to fulfill that, that's just mind blowing.
It was absolutely phenomenal, because I mean, that's what Star Trek was all about. That's what William Shatner is known for.
Yeah.
So to bring him up there, especially at 90 years old.
Is he 90?
Yeah, 90. He's the oldest person ever to go to space.
That's such a trip.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow. It just reminds me, I remember, I mean, my son is now 14. Maybe when he was 5 or 6, he went to this place called Karate Kids, and then they had this Saturday like testing thing. And who was sitting there right next to me? William Shatner, and his grandkid was getting tested too. And he just sat there with like a bomber jacket and like the shades on, but there he was.
Right.
And so it's so cool to think, well, not only that he's in the neighborhood, which is still a trip to me, that where you just see these people at the store sometimes, but that he was able to do that in his lifetime is friggin' awesome.
I'm moving to Seattle. I'm moving to Seattle to Kirk's neighborhood.
No, I'm in LA.
Oh, you're in LA?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I'm moving to LA to your neighborhood, because
you don't want to live in LA. I've seen the roads out there.
Dude, I walk everywhere. It's all good.
Yeah.
Besides, if you drive, you don't see them.
That's true.
That's
really cool. I didn't know that William Shatner did that. I'm happy for him. That's awesome.
It was a very, very heartfelt moment for somebody that spent his life pursuing his dream, and and his acting career, in my opinion, actually became a reality. He went to space.
Yeah. I see.
And I just think that was just so awesome.
What a great...
and he was humbled by it. He was very, very humbled by it, and that's what touched me the most. When he got off that ship and he talked to Bezos, he said, "I hope, and I really hope, that I never forget this moment right here."
Oh, wow.
Because that's what his life was. Star Trek. If you think about it.
It wasn't TJ Hugger?
Thank you, Leo.
No, that was just a paid gig.
Wow, what a great moment. I mean, I also think that's probably a very cool moment for all of us. Clearly for you.
Yep.
Like I got to watch it now. I'll watch it tonight. I didn't know at all. I had no idea. That's really cool.
Don't feel bad. I didn't know either until I saw it all over Facebook.
Well, no, I knew it was coming. I knew he was doing it.
Well, I knew it was coming because I talked to somebody that he signed on with recently to do some promotion for him in a couple months. And I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was already here. I didn't, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, I don't know if anybody out there realizes it, but William Shatner is also a musician and a singer, and he's recorded albums.
I didn't know that.
Okay. And one of the things he said was this inspired him to the point where he is writing a new album based on that experience.
Oh, how cool. Right on, man. There you go.
Well, the guy's 90. Will he finish it? Hope so.
Well, there's a great example of just sticking to it, never giving up, working hard.
Exactly.
Dedication.
Exactly.
And using what you talked about earlier, passion, inspiration.
Right.
Passion, inspiration. But we have kept you for quite some time here.
Oh, I lost track of time.
No, we're good. Leo has another show that he produces tonight. So on that note, I think we're going to have to wrap ours up.
Right. But can you hang on?
Yeah, just don't go anywhere.
As
he closes up the show, we'll chat real quick backstage. So Leo, do your thing.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you.
Totally.
We're not done
with you yet.
We're not done yet.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, for me, just Google Leo Pond. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which, but more importantly, I run the Dorkening Podcast Network, about 40 shows on the network. A lot of awesome people doing a lot of awesome stuff. Matter of fact, we're going to be talking with them in about 15 minutes here. And we're going to be doing another show live, so stay tuned. And so, Kirk, where do you like people interacting with you on social media?
Oh, boy. I'm the worst social media person ever.
So nowhere.
Yeah, man. Oh boy, that's, I guess, embarrassing. I'm
That
so
was a
old
tough
school.
question.
I'm so old school. Oh boy, how do I answer this?
Send him to your agent. Send him to your agent.
Well, I just, I like with The Chosen, there are so many people that really like my character in the show and stuff, but I don't do those things, the instant messaging and all of that. I'm sorry. Does that make me bad?
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
Well,
So if you want to get a hold of Kirk, send up smoke signals. He will find you. But better yet, take his acting class.
Yes.
If you really want to talk to him, take his acting class.
That's how you get in touch with Kirk.
I mean, and philosophically speaking, part of the reason I would rather spend time with you guys, my son, my girlfriend, take a good walk, build a table, than doing this all day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't. My mind just I can't do it. I get really frustrated, and I'm sorry if that sounds weak, but
oh no,
dude, we're ripped out of the same page.
Okay.
Different book, but same page.
Yeah.
But there's also the WollerTechnique.com, and I guess if you go to those websites, there's ways to contact us through there. So I guess that would be the WollerTechnique.com or ActorClass.com. Those are two ways, and I'm not some kind of recluse weird person or something, and we'll definitely get back to you, but I'm not the instant messenger guy.
No worries. I do have that information in the show notes up above,
down below.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, don't Google me. Just go to stilltoking.com. You can reach out to us there. If you try and find my Facebook page, yeah, good luck with that. Send me a friend request. I probably won't accept it unless I know who you are. Other than that, I live privately and publicly online.
What the hell was that?
I don't know, Ben.
Every week it just changes. You never know what the hell's going to come out of his mouth.
That was just genius. That's what that
right? So, like Jeff said, stilltoking.com. You can find shows just like this one tonight. All our past broadcasts are there. Everything that we're doing with the comic book, the filming, the hot sauces, our amazing guests, everything's there. We want to thank Kirk again for taking time out of his day today to come out here and entertain all of you that watched and all of you that are listening later on. But to all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do every day so people like us can do what we do every day. We're out of here. We'll see you next week.
Wow. Well
Peace
said,
out.
man.
Hang out, Kirk.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Hang out.
Thank you. Honor and grateful to be here. Thank you.